Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Pokemon challenge video. This is Pokemon Fire Red, and today the challenge is, can we beat Pokemon Fire Red with Brock's team? So basically what I'm going to do in this run is only use Geodude and Onix, and it's going to be a pretty tough run. Some notable moves that they both learn is Double Edge. Onix learns Double Edge at level 56, which would be very handy. Iron Tail at 45. And Slam at 41, which we probably won't use. But Geodude at least learns Earthquake at 36 and Rock Blast at 31. Explosion at 40 and Double Edge at 46. So both of them learned some pretty good moves. Let's go over the rules. I'm not allowed to use items in battle. I'm allowed to use rare candies at the end of the run when the run's getting pretty tricky. And obviously I'm only allowed to use Brock's team. So what I did was I swapped Charmander with Onix to give us the rival having Squirtle, and we got pretty lucky with a Lonely Nature, which means we've got a boosted attack stat. We are going to be having Onix as our ace because I think that Onix is Brock's ace, as seen in the first gym. Onix is a stronger Pokemon, which would suggest that that is the Pokemon that he started with. Whether or not it's canon or not is, I don't really care. I'm just saying what the game would suggest. It looks like he started with a Onix. So we get into the first battle, and it's pretty clear early on that we're going to have some early game advantages here because we do have Screech, which is almost like a later game move, which really severely lowers the defense of the opponent. And then obviously we can just tackle him down pretty easily. The only problem with Onix is he does have a pretty low attack stat. He is not the strongest Pokemon in terms of that. He's got a great defense stat, but in terms of his attack stat, it is very, very low. So we're pretty lucky that we got a Lonely Nature to help boost it for later in the run, because I think that it's going to come in really, really handy and make a difference later on, because if we didn't have that extra boosted attack stat, I don't think we would genuinely be able to win the run, because Onix has got such a weak type disadvantage to obviously the end game fight against the Blastoise, and obviously even just against Misty's Pokemon I'm really worried about. And I'm worried about Erika's team. There's a lot of battles in this that I would have to train up a lot of grinding for. And I think that if I ever do the Emerald version of this with Brock's team, I genuinely believe that would be completely impossible. I don't think that would be a challenge that you could beat. I don't think Brock's team would ever be able to beat Pokemon Emerald, judging by how hard this run's going to be. But anyway, we do go through Viridian Forest, and then we take up the fight to Brock early on. Level 12, Brock does have Rock Tomb on his Onix, but I think that using Screech against the Geodude's defense curls does go in our favour, because obviously Screech drops their defense by 2 stages, whereas defense curl only raises it by 1. So basically I'm using Leer on every attack here, and then obviously the Rock Throw does help to eliminate Geodude pretty quickly. He obviously goes for a Rock Tomb, which is going to slow our speed, and then we proceed to Screech the crap out of him, so that then we can hopefully knock him out pretty quick. Bind does a little bit, and continues to chip away at his health as well, which helps, and then we just Rock Throw Onix all the way, and knock him out pretty convincingly. So I have sped up a lot of this footage because I did get heaps of footage going forward. We did catch Geodude, and what do you know, he actually has a Lonely Nature as well, and they both actually got Rock Head, which means they don't get recoil damage. They could have both have had Sturdy, I believe, which prevents one-hit KO moves, but the Sturdy in this gen is nothing like the Sturdy in the later gens. Sturdy in the later gens prevents you from dying to like a move that would have knocked you out in one hit, whereas one-hit KO moves in this gen are like Fissure, Guillotine, the moves that are like, it's a one-hit KO after you knock them out. Those special moves, it prevents those, which is like super, super specific, and not many Pokemon have those moves. Anyway, as you can see, the rival fight here, we come up against a level 18 Squirtle, and he's going to be a real problem later on in the game because that water gun immediately knocked out Geodude. Onix was lucky enough to survive that water gun, but then obviously fell to the second one. So we had to go and do a bit of training, and I couldn't really do any training. The only training I could do was the left side of Cerulean, against some like wild Ekans. It was just not good, and we can't even get anywhere near Misty at the moment because Misty's just way more powerful with that water pulse using Starmie and Staryu, and we just have no chance. I'm not even going to attempt them for a while, but we hit Squirtle with a rock throw. We do get the crit and we do get the win. Obviously Abra doesn't do any damage to us, which is handy, so Geodude can go out and mop up the scraps with a magnitude. Geodude's moveset in this game is actually really good, and obviously it gets better in the future games as well, but having a Pokemon like Geodude having a early moveset such as like magnitude and Mega Punch as well, like getting Mega Punch from the guys just outside Mount Moon really does provide like a really good solid foundation for moves. It's just such a shame that he's got such that 4 times weakness for both of these Pokemon. Really will make the later run a lot more challenging. So we obviously go to see Bill. We get the ticket to the SSN. We go and fight against all the trainers to the right of Vermilion because I know that I need the levels. We also fight a lot of the trainers on the SSN. We get Geodude to level 26. He now has Rollout, and I'm not sure if I should have kept Rock Throw instead of Rollout, but once he gets Rock Blast, I'll probably be keeping that going forward. I'm thinking I will give the Rock Slide move tutor in the Rock Tunnel to Onix because he doesn't learn any more Rock type moves going forward, and I think that would be a handy move for him to have. And also he's a lot quicker, so I think the Onix having Rock Slide later on will help us out a lot. As you can see, we gave Onix Dig as well because he doesn't really learn many ground type moves, if any. I think the only one he really does learn is Sand Tomb later on in the run, and that is a pathetic move that we're not going to teach him. Yeah, he learns Sand Tomb. Is the only ground move at level 52, which is terrible. So yeah, we're not going to be having him learn that. So yeah, we obviously lose that first run. We grab a Diglett so that we can have Cut, and then we have another crack at it after we grab a couple more levels after doing some pretty hard grinding against. And the good thing about Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green is they did introduce the Verse Seeker, which means that I can go back and refight the trainers I've already fought. So there's a few trainers that I like to go back and fight. There's one that has a Nidorino, there's one that has a Butterfree just north of Vermilion, and a couple other ones just around the place as well. I did go back to Nugget Bridge and just do a bit of training there as well because there's a lot of trainers there, and a couple of them have an Onix and a bunch of Geodudes, which also help with experience. And as you can see, Onix is now strong enough that he can withstand a level 20 Wartortle's Water Gun, which is nice. So for the sake of my run, I know I was whinging before about the rival not evolving their Pokemon, but in this run I'm glad they didn't for that. But yes, I am very glad that we have been able to put this battle behind us and get on with the run. So we just take on Kadabra here, and we have to be actually really careful because if he hit us with a Confusion or if he was faster than us, that would have been battle over as well. But we're lucky that Onix is so quick that he can pretty much take on any Pokemon in this run. We do hit Raticate. He hits with a Hyper Fang, and I honestly thought for a second there if he crit that our game was going to be pretty much over. So we go back for a dig and we knock him out, which is good. So now we can move either. I thought I could go to Lieutenant Surge, but it turns out I can't. I have to beat Misty first, which is a real problem because she's so strong and I can't beat her. I don't have the levels or the speed to take on Staryu here. So he one-shots, as you can see, Geodude immediately, and Onix isn't much better. He's going to hit Staryu with a big dig, and we're going to be able to get our way over to Misty, but over to Starmie, but it's just going to be a one-hit KO again. We just got to get some more levels, and it just really fills me with dread for later in the run that both these guys are quad weak to water and grass, also weak to ice and fighting. So there's just such big weaknesses going forward that, again, I tried again and sort of the same result with Geodude is just no good. Onix again, you go the Dragon Breath this time, try and get a bit of paralysis luck. We got lucky with him using Harden, which I didn't see coming, so I just wanted to try Dragon Breath to see what that would do, if it would paralyze the opponent, and we got lucky with the high roll for Dig, and again we try again with Starmie, and one of the moves that I was hoping I could get my hands on was Rock Slide, because Rock Slide can actually flinch the opponent, but Again, Starmie one-hit KOs me with Water Pulse, and it's just a nightmare. So we actually go off. We use the rare candies. We've got a couple of rare candies lying around. So I went back down to Vermilion. I trained all the way up, and still Geodude gets KO'd immediately. I actually really put in some effort into Geodude, hoping that level 36 he would learn Earthquake and be able to use it, and he can't. So back to the Onix strat. Starmie hits a Water Pulse, and then we survive on 1 health, but guess what? We get confused, and guess what? We hurt ourselves. Absolutely devastating. So we thought we'd try again. This time we actually got to beat Staryu, and Starmie one-hit KOs Geodude immediately. We send out Onix again, hoping that we'll get the same luck and be left on 1 health. But as you can imagine, we obviously got a low roll on the last battle, and Starmie finishes off with another Water Pulse. So it's back to the drawing board, unfortunately. We get Onix level 36. We go back around, just do some more grinding above. If you guys ever want to see me do some grinding stuff, I am going to start maybe streaming on my Twitch channel, GWSharpy, or GWSharpy RPG, depending on how these videos go. I am not sure whether I want to leave these on my main channel, but we do end up beating Starmie there with a critical hit. So without that critical hit, I honestly don't know how long it would have taken for us to be able to beat Misty. We got very, very lucky there, and I think that you know, if we didn't have that crit, we would have probably had to do another like 10-15 attempts against her. But now that we've beaten her, we have cut, so that means that we can race through the next basically the rest of the run. Really, that was probably between the Elite Four and Misty, that was probably the 2 longest grinding parts. The thing with Erika is you can go and grind the rest of the game. You don't actually have to stop at Erika. You're not like brick walled. You can actually just continue on with the game. Whereas with Misty, in this case, you can't. You're stuck. You have to try and beat her in some way or another. But now that we've got Earthquake on Geodude, we can just literally go through and smoke his whole gym. It makes it so much easier. He's about to use Raichu, and there's nothing he can really do to us. He uses Double Team, which I thought maybe would have made us miss, but we hit straight away with Earthquake, and that is curtains for Raichu. So we make our way through the rock tunnel. We do a bunch of training in between now and there. We end up around near Lavender Town. And then what we do is, it's been 6 hours and 16 minutes. So that goes to show you how much grinding I've been doing. No cheating, no rare candies, because in this run, I was tempted to just see if Brock's team could just beat the game. I was worried about doing a time limit thing, but I don't think I'm going to stress about it too much, because I think that the time limit thing, especially for this run, is going to be a bit of a waste. Could be looking at about 20-hour playtime before we can actually beat the Elite Four. So I'm going to allow myself rare candies later in the game, because I just think that if I don't use them, I'm going to be playing this for like 30-40 hours, and I really don't want to, you know, have to just grind those ridiculous hours. It's more just a test to see if Brock's team can actually beat this game. And if you guys do want me to do an Emerald version of it, please let me know in the comment section below. I don't want to do it. You can see there we grabbed a Vaporeon so that we can get Surf. Basically in these runs, that's what I do. I normally grab like a Doduo for Fly, a Vaporeon for Surf, or a Lapras for Surf. But yeah, as you can see, we're both level 40 or so, and Vileplume just one-shots us. We got no chance. So we go off and we do the oh, what have I done here? Why is this repeating? It's repeating the Misty fight for some reason. I'm sorry about that. Geodude level 33. That's a mix-up. Hang on, let me fix that. Yet another loss that you guys will be very happy to see, that we suffered at the hands of Misty. I don't know why that was in there. I'm sorry about that, guys. But yeah, as I was saying, so the rest of the run, I'll let it play through. You guys will see that we've lost. It doesn't really matter. The challenges with the later parts of the run are going to be the swimmers from Cinnabar Island, because there's actually a few trainers in there that have some decent type, like Starmies. They have some decent Seadras, and also obviously the Elite Four. But even the rival in the Silphco I'm worried about as well now, because we can't even take on a level 28 or 29 Vileplume, but he's going to have a level 40 Blastoise in there, and that's going to be really, really scary going forward. So one of the things that I have to do now is try and get as many levels as I can possibly. So that basically means that I've been grinding against every single trainer on the face of the earth pretty much. So I went through the whole Silphco, fought every single trainer. And I'm going to have to do the same in Celadon too with Silphco. And also, like, when you go down to Fuchsia, on the left or right, I did actually learn Explosion here because I thought that it might be beneficial, but I actually never use it because I do learn Double Edge very soon as well. So we get rid of Magnitude and we learn Explosion that I never use, but that's okay. I thought I might use it in like a get out of jail free card or something, but yeah. So the trainers I fought against either side heading down to Fuchsia as well to try and get as many levels as I possibly could. Once we obviously get the key to get past the Pokey Flute to get past Snorlax as well. So this one's a battle that I was a little bit concerned about, but also like we're so far in front level wise that I wasn't really too worried. As you can see, Pidgeotto with Sand Attack is an absolute menace, and it's really, really annoying. But Geodude being level 41 is very handy. So he's going to send out Wartortle because my Sand Attack, I got hit with Sand Attack. I figure I'm better off switching over to Onix who can hit a big dig and get rid of Wartortle, hopefully in 1 or 2 hits. So we hit the big dig, does about half, and he keeps spamming Withdraw, which is so annoying. So we go for Rock Slide, hoping for a flinch, but we get a critical hit instead and knock him out, so that's pretty handy. The rest of the team, Execute, hit him with a big Rock Slide, knocking him out as well. And then Kadabra is still only level 20, so hasn't grown too many levels in the last few battles. Good old Kadabra. He will very soon, though. We hit level 44, and then we just got to get rid of Growlithe as well, who is level 23. We hit him with a Rock Slide, and he is done. So we get rid of that rival battle pretty easy, but the next one is going to be an absolute nightmare. So look forward to that. We do head our way down to Fuchsia, as I was saying before, and we take on Koga and his Poison-type Pokemon. Some things to note here is that they're pretty bulky. But you can see here that our level has gone up a fair bit since the Lavender Tower battle. As I said, we went down both sides. We fought every single trainer that we could possibly find to try and get as many levels as we could. Geodude having Earthquake is very, very handy, and I really need Onix to get it. The only way for Onix to get Earthquake is beating Giovanni after the 8th gym in this game. So it's a real struggle. I can't use it, so I have to stick with Dig for a fair while for Onix. If Onix had Earthquake for some of these fights earlier on in the game, I would have been able to get through it a lot quicker. It sucks that he only learns Sand Tomb for a rock ground type, only learning 1 ground type move in Gen 3. So silly. But anyway, so we take on Koga here, and obviously having Double Edge as well for Geodude is super, super handy because he is not going to get recoil damage from that. So it's a 120 base power tackle basically that you get no recoil from, which is really, really handy, and it's the same for Onix too. So got very lucky with their abilities there. If we had Sturdy, they're basically useless abilities in Gen 3. We get to level 48, we beat Koga, and we now get our 5th badge, and Geodude obviously we block from evolving. I'm getting pretty sick and tired of doing that, I can tell you. We get Toxic, and we head back to Erika just because we're such a higher level now. I feel like we'd be strong enough to basically one-shot her whole team. Victory Bell hits, tries to hit a Stun Spore anyway, hits us with Poison Powder, which is actually probably a little bit better than Stun Spore in some cases. I sometimes prefer Stun Spore, in other cases I prefer Poison Powder, and this is one of the battles where Poison is good because we can actually just continue to attack and not be paralyzed. So yeah, Onix can just go to work and get the job done here. Goes to hit a Giga Drain, which obviously would knock us out, and he does, because we can't knock him out yet, which is super, super annoying. So we're going to have to come up with a game plan. I think that I'm going to have to start relying on Rock Slide a lot more, because what Rock Slide does is completely will help flinch, and then you can use it to stall your opponent out almost. Sometimes you get lucky with multiple flinches. But luckily Geodude can come in and finish the job with a couple of Earthquakes, and then we get our 4th badge, so now we have 5. And now we have to go to the rival inside of Silphco in Celadon City. So, yeah, not Celadon, in Saffron City. So this is going to be an absolute stinker here. So I didn't realise that he would only have Water Gun still, and we would have so much issues with this. It's absolutely ridiculous how weak these guys are to grass and to water. It's pretty lucky in this game that the only grass Pokemon you really... Look at that. A level 40 water gun knocked out Onix one hit, who is level almost 50. So, and same with Geodude. One hit, gone, bang, see you later, game over. I'm cooked. So I'm going to have to come back a lot later. So I head down to Cinnabar Island. So I go and get Surf from the Safari Zone and make my way. And again, I fight every trainer along the way there. So you can see Onix is level 56 now. It is a lot easier to take on Lance and beat him with ground and rock moves. So it's a refreshing experience compared to the early parts of the game that we've had to be dealing with. He comes out with Arcanine, we hit Rock Slide. He uses Fire Blast. It's not going to do a whole heap. As long as it doesn't burn us, we'll be okay. We go for Double Edge, and Double Edge gets a crit and knocks him out. So I've had some pretty decent crit luck and flinch luck so far with some of the gyms. I'm going to need it with a couple more, and especially at the end of the game too. I'm definitely going to need some of that flinch luck, that's for sure. But Geodude finishes the job off with a couple of Earthquakes. Takes out Ponyta. Rapidash is on the way. And again, we hit a big fat Earthquake, and that is our 7th badge in our pocket, even though we currently only have 6. So yeah, we've done the training, and then what we actually do is once we get this badge, we head over to one island, and I normally skip, like if I do a single Pokemon challenge, I actually skip the one island stuff, but in this case I actually went over to one island and I did 1, 2 and 3 island and did all the battles over there. So that's why Onix and Geodude are actually, well, Onix is level 63 now, I think Geodude's only level 56 or so. Because I figure I'm better off putting all my eggs into the Onix basket because he's a lot faster than Geodude. And we almost get one shot there by the water gun. But it's good to know that those extra like 15 levels for Onix is enough to get him over the line over Blastoise. So we're going to have a lot of levels on top of the final boss in the Elite Four Blastoise. It's just, I think he's level 63 in the Elite Four. So yeah, we're going to have to be like level 99, I think. Level 99 or 100 to beat him. So that's the challenge going forward, is finding out what level we can actually beat him, because we've got to get past Lorelei, who's all basically water and ice as well, which is a real concern. So we finally beat the rival, and now we're on to the Giovanni fight in Silphco, and obviously this battle is pretty cruisy, it's pretty easy. Pardon me. Geodude being able to Earthquake everybody is a nice luxury, and again a nice change of pace for you know, getting absolutely walled by a single big tortoise using a water gun. It just sometimes it's been really challenging on this run just to find the you know, the spots where we get a bit of luck and where we get a bit unlucky. But right here with Kangaskhan, we get faked out, which is fine. We lose about 5 health, and then we go and hit him with a big Earthquake again. It's the last time you actually see Kangaskhan on his team. He hangs on with a slither, 1 probably HP. He does an Onix, so hangs on, but then we knock him out. He's at level 35. I'm actually surprised he actually gets rid of Kangaskhan. I thought that would be like a nice like ace Pokemon for him to use, because he uses it in a couple of battles and then doesn't really carry on with him. I know he's a ground type trainer, but you can teach him ground type moves. You could have taught Kangaskhan Earthquake and kept him in your team. I think Kangaskhan's a cool Pokemon, and I think it should have stayed in Giovanni's team. That's my little piece anyway. So we beat Giovanni, and then we head over to Sabrina, and obviously this battle is super easy because she's got Glass Cannon team, so they hit you really hard, but you know, as long as you can hit them hard, you're pretty much guaranteed to beat them. So I think I just double edged the whole team and beat her basically easy as you like. So Geodude actually fainted earlier in the gym to a Mr. Mime's Magical Leaf, which was super frustrating because I was trying to train up Geodude, but obviously Onix had to come in and finish off the job at the Sabrina battle. So we pretty much take care of business pretty easy. We hit double edge here and knock out Alakazam. We also then do the Fighting Dojo next door for a little bit of extra experience there on Geodude. But yeah, we beat Sabrina, we get our badge, and now we do have 7 badges. We've only got 1 to go. So we head over to Giovanni, and we take him on, and we have trained up a bit more against all the trainers in his gym. Geodude level 59, but I'm starting to realise at this point is that I'm going to need to use the rare candies at the Elite Four once I get there, because I don't think I'm going to be able to get anywhere near beating the Elite Four without some serious help with some rare candy use. So yeah, but we do use a couple of earthquakes here. Nidoking's on the way for another earthquake of his own. Geodude does manage to hang on here, and then we do knock out Nidoking with one big bad earthquake, which is nice. And then we have a Rhyhorn and a Doug trio to deal with. Rhyhorn gets hit by a massive earthquake again, and then the speedy boy Doug trio comes out and actually finishes us off with an earthquake of his own. So Doug trio is probably like Alakazam in the fact that he's like one of the most glass cannon type Pokemon in the game. He's got the some of the smallest amount of HP and the weakest defensive skills, but his attacking is so like he hits like a truck. Onix is now level 64, and we did get Earthquake, which means that I'm going to teach that immediately to Onix, which I actually think I do right here on film for you guys, because Onix with Earthquake is a bit of a game changer for the rest of the run. We just need that extra 40 power ground type stab move for Onix. I thought about trying to get some soft sands as well, so that both earthquakes for both of them would be a bit stronger, but the only way to get soft sand in this game is to catch wild sand slash, I believe, and I think I can only do that in leaf green, so I don't think there's actually any way to get soft sand for either fire red. I could be wrong. You could catch sand shrews maybe, I'm not quite sure. I thought sand shrews is a Pokemon leaf green exclusive, so I'm not sure. I'll have to double check that, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. So anyway, we take care of Pidgeot in this battle against the rival here. We go for Earthquake with our Onix, and we only do about half. So my strat here is to use Rock Slide and hope for a flinch, and guess what? We get so lucky and we actually get one, which leaves the door open for us to hit her with another Earthquake and knock out Blastoise. So that right there has saved us probably a good 15-20 minutes of grinding, expecting to have to try and beat and brute force Blastoise in that situation. So we got so damn lucky there, and that's probably going to have to be the strat for the Elite Four when we get there. Obviously we've got the Lorelei team to deal with, and we have Dragon trainer Lance and his Gyarados as well, which I'm a bit worried about, but hopefully we can Rock Slide them and get the job done. But obviously Onix hits Earthquake here, takes out Growlithe, and then we are on to a couple of other mons like his Alakazam, who I also worry about a bit because he's going to hit pretty damn hard with Psychic. Now that we can't attack first, he goes for Disable and disables my Earthquake. We go for Double Edge. Luckily, he uses Calm Mind. I'm not quite sure how much his Psychic would do at that stage, but we do get to find out. He hits us with a pretty powerful one. He doesn't knock us out. We hit him back with a Double Edge with no recoil and get the job done. Rhyhorn comes out. I don't think he has any super effective moves against us yet, so he hits us with the takedown, and we go for Earthquake because it's no longer disabled, and we knock him out and we get the win. So we're off to the Elite Four, off to Victory Road, and we basically have to try and grind as much as we can along the way. I try and fight every trainer. Also along the way, we find a shiny Arbok, one of the best shinies in the entire game. So I chuck my Master Ball at him because he's a shiny, and there's nothing rarer than a shiny. So yeah, we catch the shiny, he's in our box, and yeah, that's where he'll stay. So yeah, just a cool little Easter egg, a little shiny Arbok. But yeah, we take on Lorelei, and this is where I realise that we're going to need some serious rare candy help. As you'll see, we're level 77 after going through the Elite, through Victory Road and fighting every trainer that we could. And I've used every rare candy that I have that I found in-game as well to try and boost up Onix, just to give him as much help as he can get. Cloyster goes for Hail. And yeah, it's a sad situation here. Like, if Brock genuinely trained up both of these mons and didn't evolve either one of them really, and went to the Elite Four, he'd have no chance. If we had a Steelix and a Golem, it would probably be different. But I chose to try and make the run even harder for myself. And basically this has turned into kind of an Onix run now, because all of these Pokemon are just so much faster than Geodude, and Geodude can't even get off any moves at all. He's just too slow. He's got a base speed of 20, which is like one of the slower mons, and yeah, he's just got no chance. He just can't outspeed anybody at the Elite Four, because they're all like later level evolution Pokemon. As you can see there, level 77 Onix nearly knocks out Lapras, but no good. So Geodude comes out and obviously gets one shot as well. He's got no chance. So we have to grind up with some more rare candies and get the boys a bit stronger, because Ice Beam's a one-hit KO. We just got no chance. There's just no way we can beat them at the levels that we are, so we need some help, and I'm not going to go grind for like 8 hours just to get them like 5 levels. So we come back against Lorelei. Onix is now level 84, so we chucked up another 7 levels. And yeah, we have a great start by knocking out Dugong in one shot with Rock Slide. Super effective. Same with Cloyster. We go for the Rock Slide again, but it hits with Protect, which is super annoying. We miss a Rock Slide now, and that gets followed up by Spikes. Another Protect. The Protect strat is so dumb if they haven't used Hail yet. It makes no makes no sense. It's just silliness. Yeah, Cloyster almost gets knocked out. Full Restore, and then I go for a Double Edge just because I want to see how much it'll do. It does almost half. I'll go for an Iron Tail, expecting that it'll be super effective, but he's part water because I forgot. I'm an idiot. And then we try and... This is where it gets really frustrating because he just kept spamming Protect. We finally knock him out. Jinx is on the way. We're going to go for a Rock Slide here and try and knock out Jinx as fast as we possibly can before he hits us with like before she hits us with like an Ice Punch or whatever. Get the one-hit knockout, which is super handy. Lapras comes back out, and this is where we test our metal here with a Rock Slide. Can we get the knockout? No, we can't. But Lapras flinches. We get super lucky. A Citrus Berry, Full Restore. We hit another Rock Slide, and we miss. So if we knock him out here, we win. We don't, and Surf knocks us out. Run over again. So... yeah, look, super unlucky. Not much we could do there. We had a good game plan. We came out, tried to execute. Unfortunately, we just didn't get the luck fall our way. We come back at level 91, and even then, it's a bit of a struggle. So we miss Rock Slide again. Goes for Confuse Ray. We just don't do enough damage. I try to combat Confuse Ray with just by switching out. Sacrifice Geodude, who gets one shot immediately. Onix is the same. If he gets hit, it's pretty much game over. We go for a big Rock Slide. We are now 37 levels higher, which is just wild to think about. And then obviously we have to take on Slowbro. We hit an Earthquake, and it does a fair bit of damage. And then guess what? Hits us with Surf and knocks us out. So yeah, it's crazy how hard this is to beat with Brock's team. Extremely hard. So we come back at level 97. I did try at 94, 96, now 97, and we get pretty lucky here. We go for another Rock Slide, and yeah, you know the drill. He actually goes for Yawn. So yeah, the luck was really in our favour there, because he could have gone for Surf and knocked us out and ended our run again. But this time I think Geodude would have been faster than Slowbro, because I think Slowbro's even slower than Geodude. But yeah, just super unlucky in those situations. So we swap out Geodude and we take on Bruno, and we expect to beat him reasonably convincingly. I think that you know, his fighting types and obviously his Onixes don't really stand a chance against the sheer just power of my team at the moment. They're just so strong, and so Onix is so much faster than everybody else and just hits so much harder. So having those Earthquakes used in our favour, look at that, doesn't do much damage at all. Super effective Earthquake against us does bugger all because our defence is so high. It's just the water and the grass and the ice which is really the problem here. Geodude hits another Earthquake and knocks out Hitmonchan one hit, or Hitmonchan. Hitmonlee is on the way, who's a little bit more defensive than Hitmonchan. Hits a Brick Break, doesn't do a whole lot. Earthquake on the way, knocks him out one hit. And then we have the big boy Machamp, and I was actually a little bit worried about this one, but I wasn't sure if we were going to be able to move first, but we're actually faster than Machamp, which is surprising to me. I thought Machamp would be a little bit quicker than what he was. So we beat him, and we move on to Agatha, which is pretty lucky. So we save the game, load into Agatha, and trying to think about the best way how to beat Gengar and Haunter and Gengar, but I went for Rock Blast, and it does over half damage. I mean, again, I probably do forget that I am level 91 and I'm super overpowered at this stage. Sort of overpowered for everybody but the final battle, I guess. Goes for a screech, lowers our defense, but we hit a big fat earthquake and knock out Arbok, which is pretty cool. And then Golbat comes in, and you wouldn't believe it. Have a look at this flinch luck. So he flinches us 2 times in a row, 3 times in a row, 4 times in a row. We go for Rock Blast, we missed. We go for Rock Blast, we missed. And we lose to a Golbat who's only using Bite. A level 91 Geodude went down to a level 54 Golbat just using Bite. How embarrassing. At that stage, I was ready to pack in the towel. I was like, there's no way I'm going to beat the final battle after that. That's ridiculous. So it was pretty over it, pretty unlucky. And we got lucky that we have Onyx on the team. If I was doing a single Geodude run, I genuinely think at level 100 he would not be able to do this. But we beat Agatha, luckily, and then we move on to Dragon Tamer Lance. And yeah, it's a bit of an interesting one. I honestly wasn't sure if I was going to be able to get past Gyarados. Having the Intimidate sort of was something that I worried about. But he goes for Bite, which I thought was super strange. I thought he had Hydro Pump. I'm actually 99% sure he does have a Hydro Pump. I'm too lazy to look it up now at the moment. But yeah, what a crazy start to the battle. So we actually come up against a Dragonair. We go for a big Earthquake. He goes for Safeguard again and doesn't attack us. We hit it and we knock him out, 1 hit. So Geodude's actually putting in a bit of work here. He takes on another Dragonair who hits a Dragon Rage. It doesn't do heaps. It does enough to hurt a little bit. We hit another Earthquake and we knock him out. So we've only got 2 to go for Lance. And Geodude has taken them all on so far. Dragonite then comes in, hits an Outrage, and it is curtains for Geodude. But luckily we've got a level 97 Onyx. It's so just ridiculous to be saying. Outrage connects again. Takes off 60 HP. Look how that's ridiculously strong. We hit a double edge, get a crit, and knock out a level 60 Dragonite with that. And then we have one that I was a little bit concerned about with Aerodactyl, but we get the 1-hit KO. And then basically it's the final battle, and we have to do this a couple of times because yeah, he's so strong, and having that Pidgeot at the start is a real pain because what he does every time is he either uses Sand Attack or he uses Feather Dance. So either way, you're a stat down, or you're either 2 attack stats down or you're down an accuracy stat. And we got lucky in this first one where we actually got to hit Rock Blast. He then goes to send out Rhydon, which was wild. So we hit Earthquake and we knock him out pretty quick. I love Rhydon. I love the look of him. He's such a cool Pokemon. But then obviously the big bad Blastoise comes out, hits us with a Hydro Pump immediately and knocks us out. Yeah, even if Geodude was level 100 with like super good special defense stats, I think he would still knock us out. I actually forgot my strat here and got knocked out because I was meant to do the Rock Slide strat, but I didn't do it. I forgot it, and I went to go for the 1-hit KO Earthquake, and it didn't quite work. So we had to do it again. We had to come back and have another crack at it. And Geodude at level 93 lost his accuracy, missed Rock Blast, and then got Feather Danced, even worse than the battle before. And I genuinely thought I was going to have absolutely no chance of beating this run, to be honest. I was just like, if he comes in and does that every time, and then my accuracy is low, like I was like, is Pidgeot going to be faster than Blastoise? I don't know. So Onyx level 99 now. Going to go for an Earthquake and take out Rhydon, and then I'll see how we go against the big level 63 Blastoise. What an absolute animal team the rival has in this game. It's so challenging. It's so good. We go for Rock Slide. Do we get the flinch? Yes, we do. So the strat did work the second time round. We go for Earthquake, if I'd only remembered at the time before, and the Earthquake knocks him out, and that basically guarantees us the win here. The thing I have to be careful of is Exeggutor. He does have Giga Drain. He is a Grass type. He's level 61. He will absolutely destroy me if I'm not careful. So I'm trying to think about what move to do here. I go for a double edge. It doesn't quite do anywhere near as much as I'd hoped. He goes for Giga Drain, and guess what happens? He knocks out Geodude, 1-hit KO. So again, that just fills me with like There's no way I could beat this whole run with just a Geodude. There's no way. We go for double edge. We don't knock him out. He goes for sleep powder. We get away with it because he misses. We get super lucky there. If he got us with that and then hit us with 2 Giga Drains, that run was over as well. So I had to be super careful. But the double edges got the job done. We've only got a couple to go in Alakazam and Arcanine, and we hit a big Earthquake on Alakazam. And then he brings out Arcanine, who has no chance against my Onix, even though he does have Intimidate. Earthquake hits him hard, and that is the run. We officially win the run. Brock can beat the Elite Four without using items in battle, or yeah, it just would mean he would have to basically max out both of his Mons. And obviously, if he had a Steelix and a Golem, that would help too. I was tempted to do Brock's Pokemon Silver team, where he has like Kabutops and Omastar and like an Aerodactyl or whatever, but I didn't really want to do that. I wanted the challenge to be pretty hard. So let me know what you guys thought of the challenge in the comment section below. Hopefully you did enjoy. I really do appreciate you guys watching. If you made it all the way to the end, let me know what challenge you want to see me do. It took me 16 hours and 32 minutes to get the job done, but obviously I skipped with a lot of rare candies at the end there. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. Let me know if you like this video format, and I will see you guys in the next Pokemon video challenge. Bye for now. Peace.